This is my first time seeing the nano-texture glass. We have the new nano-texture glass 5K retina display, and I gotta say, it looks really good in person. Barely any glare, even with our super bright light coming from over there. Much faster than the previous iMacs. We have better video from the camera. We have better sound from the mics and the speakers. The iMac to me is one of the most versatile desktop systems in my opinion. And my 2014 iMac has been my workhorse for like 5, almost 6 years now. I even edited the whole Last Being series episode with Potato Jet, 4K footage, tons of footage, and I had no problems at all. But for me, the question is, why would a creative in 2020 get an iMac when laptops are super powerful, iPads are capable of so much, even your smartphone is so powerful and can do so much? Why does anybody need an iMac in 2020? The iMacs are not only powerful and capable, but for me, it's this screen, especially with this new nano-texture glass. It's really, really nice having that 5K resolution, the quality, the look, and this massive real estate along with those nice speeds. Just like with my 2014 iMac, I've been able to use that for so many years because it is so capable. I think for most people, this is the way to go. Instead of trying to get something like the Mac Pro or even the iMac Pro, this is gonna be more than capable for most people to do video editing, photography, all of that stuff. You can easily do it. You have the massive display, fast computing, and the iMac Pro doesn't even have the nano-texture glass right now. So for me, that's a really big selling point. And to be honest, this is just way more affordable. Like the Mac Pro, it's really, really expensive. The iMac Pro, those are pretty expensive. And so for most people, the regular filmmakers and photographers, something like this, the 2020 iMac, is just so much more reasonable. You have all the ports built in. You got the SD card reader, you got your USB, your USB-C, and even an Ethernet plug-in so you can get really fast, consistent internet. Always convenient. Up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, which I think is more than enough for most people. Again, the better video quality coming from the now 1080 camera. Finally, I think that's a long overdue. So this is the new video quality on the new 1080 camera on this iMac 2020. Man, it's funny how you're so used to having all the dynamic range of an iPhone. It's just not the same, not having all that smart computing power. Let's see if I turn that down. Definitely looks better, at least on here, but I'm gonna have to check this out afterwards on the computer to see if it looks that much better. I think it does. It's a nice addition. I think it's been a little overdue. Better mic, so the sound quality is gonna be way better, whether you're trying to record something like music or just, you know, having a Zoom call or something like that, having a meeting with a client, you're gonna sound and look a little bit, don't look at Chris Howe's naked body here. Now that we're all kind of stuck at home, we're back to our home offices and our home setups. You could do a lot on this thing. You could work on it with the fast computing and the beautiful screen, use it for meetings and calls, and as shallow as it sounds, it's gonna look better on you when you look a little bit better on those calls. And at the end of the day, when you're ready to relax, you could play some games on it or watch Netflix on this super nice screen. I feel like this is kind of an all-in-one solution for a lot of home offices. This is my old 2014 iMac. Old Faithful. This is the new cooler 2020 iMac. And look at this glare. Just look at the difference on the nano-texture. It's so much better. This is always just glaring all over. If I have that window open over there, it's just glaring like crazy. I feel like with this, you get away with a lot more. You do get a little bit of this like purple color sometimes from the map, but that's on like a pretty extreme angle. So yeah, I wanted to check out the new iMac because I'm thinking of replacing my old iMac I think it's time since it's from 2014. And if I'm gonna end up hiring somebody, I need 2 capable machines at the office. I already got the Mac Pro, but an iMac I think would be a really nice addition. And to be honest, I just want to get rid of that PC so bad. If anybody needs a PC, trying to mix like a Mac and PC in one office is just a total nightmare. But man, I gotta say, this nano-texture is really nice. It's so much better than just like a normal matte that I've seen in a lot of screens. This looks really good and like very little glare, very little, and it's kind of like diffused. Engineers, whoever came up with this idea, great job.
Tyler, you gonna be able to hold down the office, hold down the fort while I'm in the trenches of fatherhood?
Yeah, I've got a socially distant party plan. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to say that.
You better not be partying here.
Ignore that. Yeah, it's gonna be really chill. No parties. No nothing.
You better not. Now I gotta meet up with my friend Jesse Senko because our short film project has been on hold for way too long. So we're just gonna try to make it happen. I thought I was just creeping on some random person, but I'm glad I guessed right.
It's me. You found me.
How's it going, man?
Good, good.
You brought your one wheel, right?
No.
So I haven't seen Jesse in like forever. We've been planning a short film since before the whole Corona thing started, and now everything's just been on hold, and now we're finally getting back into like, we should actually do this. How have you been surviving, man? You're first of all, you're a freelance like director. Do you shoot DP? No, just direct nowadays, right?
I DP when I have to.
Right, but mostly direct.
Yes.
You like my like dolly setup thing here, whatever.
So, walk and talk.
Yeah.
All right. So this short film is set in the 70s in the Soviet Union. And that's all I really want to give away at first.
I was gonna say don't give away too much. I gotta stop this for a second. But seriously, how like everything good with the freelancing? How's it been for you?
I'm shooting my first job since March.
Oh
and it's
man,
now like mid-August.
That must feel weird going back.
It's definitely weird. It was super weird going on set because some people aren't like. The first job I did was docu-style, and people aren't really staying as far away from you as you would like, so your anxiety I live in the country too, so when you're used to like no one being around and all of a sudden there are people like all up in your face, it's really tough. I'm doing like a studio shoot later this week, and it has like taped off squares in the floor. Everyone's got masks.
COVID squares.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this is my space to now.
Don't come in my square.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Lots of masks, lots of hand sanitizer. I'm trying to figure out how to communicate because there's like you're always whispering in someone's ear on a set.
Right, yeah.
And that's not possible.
That's not cool anymore.
So,
man, what a weird world we live in now.
It's super weird.
I'm curious, like at least for me, going on like an actual set shoot day was always a little bit like anxiety inducing already. How much more is it now? Is it like a lot worse, or is it just like?
I don't know. The work is the work, and it's always like creative unknowns that give me anxiety. So I feel kind of the opposite, where I know how buttoned down set needs to be.
Right.
So it's forced me to think through the approach, and I'm always an advocate about, really nailing down your approach anyways before you go in creatively. So
you're a smart man. Plan it before. Go in with a game plan.
But that's what this is proving. It's like you can't just wing things or kind of go through things. You got to sit down and plan.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to get rid of the anxiety, because you can't afford it.
No.
You can't afford it on set.
I'm glad you're back at work though.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're gonna have a little chat, try to plan our short film, which hopefully, when do you think we're gonna be able to make this? I have a kid coming next week, by the way.
You got next week.
Next week, yeah. So that's gonna be another like. We're gonna have to wait a couple weeks at least, because
Yeah.
that's gonna be a little crazy for me.
But you've already got like the head start.
Yeah,
Two was way easier than one.
I understand. Wait, how you have like 4, right? You're like a champion dad.
Yes.
I don't know how you do it, man.
I thought they could just eventually like start taking care of each other after a while, but I think you need like 10 kids for that.
10. So you're working on the 10.
No.
This is great. So Jesse's Sony doesn't have a flip LCD, so he has a mirror in there to see himself. That is awesome, Jesse.
My son has a 3D printer, so I've been trying to figure out how to do a periscope sort of thing to go around the side.
Oh my god.
And then this YouTube video came up with this. They must have listened to me
Of course.
in my home. And so it just reflects the screen.
That's actually ingenious. I mean, you could just get the Sony a7S III, right?
Eventually.
But
I
this
kind
is
of
way
like, I want to
cooler.
see how long this thing can
Yeah,
last.
that is way cooler. Tyler, what do you think?
I like. Is this mine? This mine? It looks like a painting. Like it
Yeah.
looks like it's a print or something like that. It doesn't. look
That's a
like
good
it's
way of
real.
describing it. It's almost, when you look at it with like your naked eye, it kind of looks like somebody's literally taken a picture
Yeah.
of the desktop and like a really high quality print on there.
Yeah, like it.
Do you want one?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Is this like are you buying it, or do I have to buy it?
It's similar to when the straight pipes were like, "Hey, would you take this Lamborghini?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Would you pay for it? Probably.
Oh.